back to Jealous Podcast. We've missed you. We have a really freaking interesting episode. I got to tell you, Mark, when you first said this, I was like, okay, Red Bull Soapbox Race. All right. Yes, it's interesting. I didn't think it was not interesting, but the more we talk to our guest, Matt, I'm super into this, and I want to go to the event on the 18th.
18th, yeah.
So cool. So, yeah, you're a part of the Red Bull Soapbox Race. You excited?
I am. I've been looking forward to it a while, and just seeing Matt Bonsal just get so excited and just his passion, and he's so knowledgeable, and he puts so much time and effort into this, and then having some other buddies help out, and just the whole atmosphere of the day of is going to be special. My parents are coming.
Oh.
His parents are coming. Michelle's parents are coming, and just it's going to be a blast.
I love when someone takes something that could be like, I mean, it's the concept's not silly, but you know, you can tell humor and goes into it, and he's taking it very, very seriously, and I love that because the result is going to be awesome, and your guys' car is going to look really cool. So before we get into the episode, who are you feeling jealous of this week?
This week, I believe his name is Rob Walton.
Okay.
Familiar with that?
No.
He's a Walmart here.
Oh.
So he recently,
the Waltons.
Yeah, he recently purchased the Denver Broncos for $4.65 billion with a B.
Billion with a B. When you have over, like, what do you think that that amount is where it's just like it doesn't matter anymore, the amount?
And I think last week or this week, LeBron James became the first active NBA player to become a billionaire. I'm like, do you know how much $1 billion is?
No, but I wish I did. I'd count it. I'd Scrooge McDuck, dive into it every night and swim through all my coins. That's what I would do if I had $1 billion. What would you do?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't, you would never have to just worry about so many things that we have to worry about daily.
It would be so hard to spend it all unless you buy a sports team.
I think the goal is to not spend it all.
Yeah. invest, and then your whole family for 20 generations is set.
They're set. Or you could just buy a whole bunch of Apple products, the Apple products that are now getting a little too intuitive. We were talking about it before this. So the Shelby and Sam were educating us on this. They're coming out with an update, or maybe you have to buy the new product, I don't know, where you can edit text, take back text.
Within 15 minutes.
15 minutes? How do you feel about that?
I would have liked it back in the day when...
Oh, sure. Back in the day.
Now,
About the time I was getting bit by a horse in downtown St. Louis.
Well, now it would come in handy because every once in a while you text somebody accidentally like, okay, thanks, sweetie, or whatnot. And
love you, babe.
Yeah. Friends have done that to me. You got to roast them. Those situations would be nice to take that back or change.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it wouldn't so much help me now, but it would help me back in the day, I suppose. Although I do like Gmail has a 30-second feature. I do like that. So
I have the 5-second one, which saved me a couple times. So
5 seconds?
Yeah.
You can hit undo in 5 seconds?
Oh, yeah.
I guess if it's really necessary. Were those emails to me? Like, were you really mad at me? And then you just... Yeah, I figured you're kind of mean like that. Oh, man. Okay, well, you guys really enjoy this episode. Yeah, you're going to learn a lot about the soapbox car making process, the whole event, the history of the event, and you should get out and go.
June 18th, Iowa State Capitol Grounds.
Yeah.
Free event. Going to be loads of fun.
Yeah. Good luck, Mark. When we're really, really looking forward to your 30-second performance.
Yeah, you got to show up and be there.
Maybe you should practice here and show us.
I think my costume should be arriving very soon.
Oh, you didn't make it?
No.
It's like Amazon?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask Nicole to send me your Amazon search history so we can figure it out. All right, you guys, enjoy the episode. Bye.
See ya.
All right, well, welcome back, everybody, to Jealous Podcast. Today we are joined with Mark, our very own Mark. We've missed you, Mark.
Yeah, it's been a while. I had Bobby on right before I left, so it hasn't been too long.
I know, but you weren't here. You were off in faraway places, having faraway adventures and doing really fun things, and so we missed you. And you have brought on your friend, Matt Bonsal, and we are going to talk about a big event that's coming up, a little side project you guys have been working on. We're going to talk about a lot today. You've been up to some shenanigans, it sounds like.
Shenanigans, for sure.
Yeah.
Shenanigans, for sure. Well, welcome, Matt. Thanks for coming on here.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Before we were just kind of shooting the shit before we started, and so I have to ask you this icebreaker question. Okay, right? If you drove a car that represented who you are as a person, what would that car or vehicle, what would it be?
I think it's in his garage right now.
Is it?
It truly is.
Is it? Oh, it's not the thing. It's not the
No.
secret.
No.
Okay. Okay, what is it?
It's not the car that we're currently building for the event. The vehicle that represents me would be the 1972 Chevy that I have right now.
Damn. How'd you get your hands on that?
My wife and I were talking about getting a truck. I, as a joke, threw it out there. I was like, what if I got an old vintage truck? And she's like, yeah, sure. Wait, really? I can get an old truck? She's like, yeah. I didn't even ask a third time to make sure that I just like, okay, I'm off, I'm running, let's go look and see what I can find.
So you did it. You're living the dream. That's great. How this all came up is I was driving to work the other day, and I was driving down the interstate, and I looked over, and this cool guy was driving this cool vehicle, and I was like, those two things match. And I looked at myself, and I'm driving the car that I drive. It's a great car, but I'm like, I think I'm a little bit cooler than that, but also maybe not. So anyway, we went around the room, and yeah, Mark's is a cool. It was a Mustang. No,
Mercedes.
That was a Mercedes.
AMG green.
Green.
Coupe.
Yeah.
British
Amazing.
Racing Green?
No, it was like a sparkly green color, like really sharp.
Yeah.
Green, of course, Ireland.
Pretty much, Mark. Pretty much nailed it. All right. Well, Matt, before we get really kicked off, who are you? Who are you? Why are you here?
Who are you? That's a loaded question. Well, I don't know. How do you want that answered?
Well, maybe we'll just bop it on over to Mark. Why are you jealous of Matt, and why is he sitting here right now?
This guy right here is so creative. He's a problem solver. When he puts his mind to something, no matter how big it is, he somehow figures out how to execute it. And I was in his garage last week, and the car that we were building, he was so frustrated. Things were going wrong. He was so upset and just angry. And then I was over there last night, and he was like, oh, this is wonderful. This is perfect. Everything's going on plan. He's just problem solving, just fixing it, and just the passion to use his mind and his creativity to build something fun.
Awesome. So what is this? What is this little project? We're not gonna bury the lead. What's going on? What are you guys doing?
So have you heard of Red Bull?
I have heard of Red Bull. Back in my college days, I maybe paired it with a few too many vodkas. But yeah.
Well, Red Bull is coming this weekend to do the Soapbox Race by the Capitol grounds. And Mr. Bonsal here thought of a great idea, and he submitted it. Tell me more about that process, how you developed your idea.
Yeah. Well, first off, the Red Bull Soapbox Race, I have known about it for, 10 plus years. So I've seen the videos, I've seen the different places they've gone around the world. And it was always one of those moments I'm like, that looks like something fun to do. It would be something that I would enjoy having a chance of doing. But I'm like, I live in Iowa. What's the chance of me ever being in that perfect moment for it? And just lo and behold, January, February this year, somewhere in there, I heard about Red Bull was coming to Des Moines with this particular event. And I'm like, I want to get a team together. I want to be able to present a car and see if I can be accepted for the race and hopefully make it happen. submitted my idea, and the idea I came up with was um, basically a miniature zoo enclosure on wheels. So it was gonna then, and the reason that idea came up was I was thinking through the process. Okay, we're coming out of COVID. They haven't done a race like this since 2019. Everybody's going to be really itching about wanting to be able to partake in this event. So I was wanting something that was not going to be like everybody else, because I don't want to submit like a John Deere tractor. Yes, I know this is Iowa, but how many other people are going to submit something that looks like a John Deere tractor? So I started looking around for different thoughts on how is mine going to be different than everybody else is submitting. How am I going to make myself stand out? And so the research began from there, of going back through the different YouTube videos that were out already for past events, and I was just looking through what showed up on their different races, what showed up on their different crashes, and this cage-like zoo enclosure never showed up in any of the research that I did going back through those different videos. So I was like, perfect. This is what I'm going to start with, and I'm going to start building the idea off of this, because it's something new, something different. It's going to give me that, hopefully, that little bit of extra edge to be able to get past the application process.
Awesome. So, I mean, why you've been interested in, you said, for over 10 years, but why? So what is the race all about? Like, how did it even come about? How did it originate? Why is it even something that they continue to do each year?
I'm not sure how Red Bull came about with this race when they originally did, but I think the first one they did was back in like 2005, 2006, somewhere in there. And from my perspective, of once I became aware of the event, it was the challenge of building the car, the fun that I could see myself doing, not just the day of the event. If you crash, if you make it, whatever, don't really care, because it's just going to be for the event, for the show, as well as the just getting a group of friends together that would also be able to enjoy the event, the build, the shenanigans that all go on with the stage performance that happens. I mean, there were just a lot of things. I'm like, if I can get a team together to do this, and they all enjoy doing it, let's go for it.
That sounds like so much fun. I am jealous. So, okay, you submitted your idea. What's the name? Like, elaborate on everything, and then how did you know that you had gotten through the application? You had made it through that round, that first round at least.
Well, it was only one round, so it was either straight up
yes or no.
Yes or no.
Okay, well, that's good.
So it was, got it in, and then a couple weeks later, got the congratulations. I was like,
nice.
Awesome, let's go. As for our team name, it actually started off, we had the name of the craft itself beforehand, because since we knew the craft or the car was going to be based off of a zoo enclosure with a zoo animal that has broken out of it, we were going to make a small little play on the theme that Blank Park Zoo has, which Blank Park Zoo is Iowa's greatest adventure.
Okay.
So we made a play on that as Des Moines' greatest escape, since it's an animal escaping from the enclosure.
I love it.
So that's where it all began, was we got the name of the car first. And then like, okay, so if we're doing a animal that has escaped from this enclosure, what can we name our team now? And as we were going through the different ideas for the team name, we ultimately came up with Sir David's Acolytes, because it's a play on Sir David Attenborough, because the appreciation I have for him. And since this was kind of a zoo breaking, or not a zoo, animal breaking free from its enclosure, we figured it was a nice kind of touch for just being that kind of tie-in, where Sir David Attenborough has always been very positive about respecting animals and their surroundings and everything else. So,
I love it. Did you have to put all that in the application process? That's a lot to explain. What was the application process like?
The application process just said, what's the cart name? What's the team name?
Well, and you submitted drawings, too.
Yeah, there was submission of drawings, so it could be whatever, and they said in the submission process, it can be, you know, a drawing on a napkin, or it can be a digital graphic that you can submit. So they were not too concerned as long as you could convey your idea solid on the application process. And the thing that they made a change of this year was past applications before COVID was all done as a video. So you had to have your team pulled together, you had to do a video, and it had to be a certain amount of time. Being that this was coming out still kind of on the tails end of how people were being very careful about getting together with COVID, they changed their application process to being just a basically a full-on paper submission, put in your name, put in your information, and submit. So it was a lot easier to go about applying for this particular one.
That's very interesting because, I mean, you ultimately have to get with the group to build the thing anyway. Yeah. Funny.
So do you know how many people submitted applications to be part of this and how many total cars are going to be running?
How many people got rejected?
I don't know the number of people that submitted and got rejected, so unfortunately that I don't know. But as for the number of races or the number of teams that they accepted for this year, it's 50 cars, 50 teams.
50 teams. Wow. I bet a lot of people did. I bet it is cool. And they do such a great job, Red Bull, and everything that they do, like their production value and showing this stuff off. I mean, you're talking about the videos. It's promoted heavily. So I say that, and I didn't know it was coming to Des Moines until Mark told me that. But, yeah, how did you even find out it was coming here?
Probably the news, Mackenzie.
Was it on the news?
Oh, yeah, big time.
I tell them, but I don't.
I know it's been in the news recently, just kind of promoting it, but this was one of those few times that Facebook was actually a positive for me.
All right.
Because it was
digital marketing.
It was digital marketing on Facebook. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. So you applied, you found out that you were in. How long ago was that?
I got the congratulations email middle of March, maybe end of March.
All right. Did you know immediately who the team was already going to be? Like, did you have everyone picked out who was going to be on the team? Or what was that like? Everyone had to submit their own application to get on your team.
And why did you choose the people you chose?
Yes.
The team had to be submitted during my first application, or my only application.
It did. Okay, sorry.
Because they needed to know who was going to be showing up the day of the event on June 18th.
Got it.
They also noted that the people showing up on June 18th doesn't have to be everybody for the actual build itself. So you can actually build with, 5 people, 10 people, 20 people. So it didn't matter if the number of people building, but they needed to know the people that were going to be there the day of the event.
Okay.
So that is how they classify team.
Got it.
I classify team as everybody who's helping out. So, of course, my team is bigger than the Red Bull team.
Yeah, yeah.
Then once we got past that of the congratulations, because I already communicated with Mark, Manny, Alan, and Emily, and they all had and yes, they would be able to be there on June 18th.
Right.
Got that information in. Then later on, it became the whole submitting my updated information for who I was and basically signing my, my waiver saying, if something happens to me, it's not your fault.
No blame to Red Bull. But back to Mark's question, we know Mark is an athlete, Mark is a runner, Mark is going to kick ass. Is everyone else as athletic as Mark?
Everybody else is bringing slightly different things to the table. Manny, I knew, was good with building and being hands-on. Emily and Alan, they are both in for kind of the theatrical stuff. They actually are part of a Harry Potter Christmas-themed event that a friend of ours puts together, and they love getting into full costume, making their own costume, and then just having just hamming it up all night long in the costume and just truly taking in that character. So I knew they would be great for truly getting into the event of the day of, just being in character, willing to put on a costume, be absolutely silly for the people showing up, being on stage, and just everything else. They were just going to be on the go.
I love it. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So the event. So it's actually like it's a race, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's one clear winner, or are you judged? I mean, you made it through. You've got your theme. Are you are there criteria? Like, could you win best vehicle or car?
I'm trying to recall the number of different awards they have going on.
Yeah.
So if I miss one, it's possible. But if I recall correctly, there's 6 different ones.
Okay.
Of course, there's the Red Bull first, second, and third.
Okay.
And the Red Bull first, second, and third is based off of 3 different parts of criteria.
Okay.
There is what they call is the car judging. So the morning of the event, they're going to have a panel of judges go through and judge the car on their criteria. What their criteria is, I'm not sure. They just judge it on whatever their criteria is.
Okay.
So you get the car score. Later on, when you get ready to start the race as yourself, you'd put on a performance that can not expand over 30 seconds.
Okay.
So there's a quick little stage performance you have to do. You get to select your own music, which we've already submitted our music for it, so they have that.
We have our costumes.
Have the costumes. So there's going to be a quick little 30 seconds before we even push the car down.
Stop. This is great. Okay. Sorry. Don't stop. This is a podcast. Gotta talk.
So after that, the third part of the score criteria is then going to be the amount of time it takes you to go from start to finish on the course. So all 3 of those scores are then added up to create the Red Bull first, second, and third.
Okay.
From there, there is the Viewers Participation Award, which is in the morning before the race begins. So it's, I'm trying to remember, Mark, is it 10 a.m.? I think they put on the website, right?
Probably, yeah.
In the morning, people can start showing up and walk through pit road. So that way they have a chance to see the cars in advance, be able to even have a chance to interact with the different teams and talk to them and stuff like that in pit road. And as those, as the people basically walk through, they then get the chance later on to submit who they think is their favorite car.
Oh, cool. Like a People's Choice situation. Cool.
Yep. So there's the People's Choice. There's the Casey's is a sponsor of this event. So Casey has a hometown award, if I remember correctly. So it's going to be based off of is the theme of the car and the team really representing the hometown feeling and who has the best representation of hometown based off of their voting criteria.
So much fun. So is it downtown? Where is it?
State Capitol grounds, correct?
Yep. It's at the approximately 800 block of East Walnut.
Very, very cool. Oh my goodness. So, I mean, you picked Mark to be on your team.
I don't know why.
Good on ya. How do you guys even know each other?
It all started with a bottle share at a mutual friend, Brandon.
I thought it was Bob, like at 515.
It was Brandon,
Brandon?
because everybody had left for the night. It was down to you, me, and Brandon, and we then got into the conversation of Muka at the Czech Museum in Cedar Rapids and how we both had our own different experience of going over and seeing it, and then we started talking about other bits of art, and right there, I mean,
You nerded out.
We
together.
tend to geek out about art.
Yeah.
so it was craft beer kind of brought us in the same circle together, but it was the arts and the love for the arts that really kind of started the whole friendship for us.
That is awesome. I am going to back up to the craft beer. You always talk about these bottle shares that you do, Mark. Explain what those are, because I think it is maybe they're popular somewhere. I don't know.
So we've done something similar here.
Yeah.
With when we have dimensional cans, we just crack them. Everybody just tastes a little bit and then talk about what you think about it and just have a good time.
Yeah.
So I'm having a couple of buddies over tonight and a bonfire and just sharing a couple unique beers.
They just everyone brings their favorite beer over and they get a swap and just have fellowship.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. That's such a unique, fun thing.
And we're not getting drunk. It's just
Whatever.
have fun and try unique beers you probably would never get the chance to.
Yeah. Did you bring some from your trip?
I did bring a couple beers. I brought a bottle of whiskey, which some of my fellow employees have tried already.
Did you celebrate with, is today Wednesday? No, today's Thursday. Did you have Whiskey Wednesday yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
You did? I just think it's pretty unfair. I just need to say of all my coworkers to continue drinking alcohol in front of me as I am 8 months pregnant. I just don't think that's right, but I mean, whatever.
So the race is coming up. I always have to keep Mackenzie on track.
Yeah, good luck.
So do you have much experience building these cars?
Right.
Or what's your background in building and projects? And
A lot of HGTV on in your house?
My background in building, well, I'm not a welder. I knew that. So before I even submitted my proposed idea or my application for this event, I reached out to my father-in-law, John, who is a master fabricator and welder and just all things working metal down in the Valley Junction. He has a shop down there called the Village Blacksmith.
Oh,
so
cool.
I was able to talk with him a little bit about this event, and it was really funny because I was like, hey, by the way, John, I'm looking into, partaking in this Red Bull event. Before I do, I wanted to check with you about building this car. And he was like, he already knew about this event. He's like, oh, this is the race where you go across jumps, bumps, and you try to miss the hay bales and cross the finish line? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, let's do it.
Oh,
he didn't
nice.
even bat an eye. He's like, sure. I was like,
So
I'm
cool.
going to need your help. I don't know how to do any of this metal stuff. Sure.
Nice.
So-
I went to a shop one afternoon, and it was impressive. That guy, just a one-man shop, all these.
Oh, really? It's just him?
Just him.
Wow, what a badass.
Yeah, he's too smart, but he was showing Bonsal and his wife how to do things, and he wouldn't do it all himself. He made sure people were there to
Had their
help.
hands-on.
And it was just, I wish I could have spent more time there.
Yeah. So did you just kind of give him your drawn plan and said, this is what we need for the frame or in the body or what?
Yeah. He got the rough draft of the craft of what we had. So he had an understanding of what we were going for. And then he was also given his feedback of, how long or how short we were going to want to make it.
Mm-hmm.
He has in the past made frames for motorcycles that went on for actually doing dirt track racing.
Oh, wow.
So he has a skill for building frames like this, but he's never built anything that's been on four wheels. He's always built stuff that's been two-wheel frames.
Uh-huh.
So he was looking forward to the challenge of, okay, what am I going to have to understand and make adjustments to with the current knowledge he had? So he truly saw it as not just as this is going to be a fun time, but also as a new challenge for him as well.
Yeah, he has a new portfolio piece now. That's really cool. So is the car done?
The framework and everything that John needed to do is done. It's been in our garage for, 3 weeks now, I think. And Michelle and I have been housing it at our garage, so that way we have all the tools and stuff there on hand.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, Manny, Alan, Emily have all been coming over at times when they can be able to give their free time as well to build the car. Unfortunately, it's not 100% done.
Hey, we've got time.
Yeah, we got time.
I act like I am an active participant in this project, which I am now.
So we know we can get it done. It's just how many late nights do we have left? That's what it's down to.
So it's all after work. It's all after you've done your stuff, taken the dog for a walk. So what have you done to the car, Mark?
I've been the main photographer.
Hey, that's a good job.
Yep, and just working with the styrofoam and measuring some stuff and just moral support and lifting things.
Styrofoam. So yeah, you want to keep it light, I would assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the key? What is the secret to making the perfect soapbox car?
Well, for us, it's all been about using styrene foam that you use as a insulation material in a house. We're using that instead as our material we're using to shape the body panels from.
Okay.
So since we're trying to make something that looks like a zoo enclosure in miniature, we got the front wheels have stuff that's going to look like rocks across it. So that way it's like the front portion of an enclosure. Like if you go to a zoo and you see how they create a barrier between you and the tigers and lions and gorillas and stuff like that, there's always some type of like sometimes it's a body of water, sometimes it's boulders, but it's something that looks like part of the environment that you would naturally see them in, but it's a safety barrier besides just having a cage there.
Form and function.
Form and function.
Have you been going to the zoo and like taking notes?
Inspiration.
Yeah.
Went to the zoo once during this build so we could get some inspiration, but been doing most of the looking by just going online and just seeing what different things you can find through, online searching that way.
This is so interesting, you guys. I can't wait to see the finished product.
So what's been a major struggle or challenge that you've had to overcome with this?
Yeah, it sounds like you were pissed off last Thursday.
Care to divulge?
We had several things come up. It's been one of the original ideas we had for building the the boulders was taking something like a metal mesh that we would then take shredded paper mache and applying it to. So that way we're like, okay, we can use that mesh, shape it to what we want for form real quick. The problem we found out with the test part was the paper mache is going to take 2 to 3 days to dry, and there was just going to need to be a lot of paper mache because my little test patch that I did was, I don't know if it was much bigger than a 6x12 area, and I had already used over a cup of actual paper mache product.
Oh.
So it was just going to take a lot to be able to get the coverage that we needed. And we were looking at that going, that's going to add more weight. So then we changed up to using the home insulation, as I described earlier, using that to then build it in layers and just cut, shape, files, knives,
Dremel tools.
Dremels. I mean, it's just a lot of random tools that work for what we're needing, but you would never guess that would be, oh, that's what you can use. It's kind of like a high school theatrical club putting something together. You're like, hey, that's going to work for making this.
Every time you go pick up new supplies, do you tell them like, hey, I'm purchasing this for my soapbox car and we're going to kick ass on the 18th. You should come watch. I would.
Well, you did mention that your mail delivery, the postman knows all about your endeavors.
Yeah. In the past several Saturdays, we've been working in the garage. Of course, garage is open, and as he's just coming through, he always takes a moment just to kind of quick chat with us. And he's like, what do you got going on in there? And we told him, and we let him know about, what what we're building, what's going on, and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, I've heard about that, and I've seen the videos. It's in town?
Cool.
So he's hoping to be able to be there for the event. But yeah, definitely as we run into different people, just sometimes the excitement spills over.
Definitely. Okay, so it's the day of the event. You're ready to go. Is there one person in there actually driving it? I don't know anything. Like, how is it? I know the team shows up. I know, is there pushing? There's like, I don't know if I'm thinking of bobsleds. I was telling these guys earlier, Little Rascals comes to mind. That's a soapbox race. right? And then Reba's at the end. Maybe Reba will be here. I hope so, for your sake. Reba rules. But what's the process of the actual race?
Yeah, the Little Rascals. That's definitely getting close to what's going on here.
I like it. Classic film, first of all.
And with that, so it's a soapbox car in definition is gravity powered. So there's no external engine on it. So nothing gas, nothing electrical. It's all just gravity power and the initial start, which is people just pushing it off. So it's a bit of push, but from there it's gravity.
Okay.
So the car that we're building is going to be just one person in there. Red Bull does give the capability for people to build the car with driver and a passenger, but we opted not to have a passenger. That was our choice.
Okay.
And it's just going to be me driving the car down whatever course Red Bull sets up for everybody.
Oh my gosh.
And
have you ever driven one before?
In high school, made a soapbox car that was very rudimentary of 2x4s with lawnmower tires attached to it and plywood for the seat.
Stop. What are you using for a seat? Because we have to have comfort. How long does the whole race take? Oh my God, I have so many questions. I've asked not even like a tiny amount of them.
For comfort, ultimately what we ended up with is we found some garden pads that if you like go to the garden section for people that kneel down, they're really dense foam pads, and we're just going to be shaping those pads to fit what we mounted in for the seat.
Okay, what is the seat? You don't share all your secrets. You don't have to. Okay, how long does the course typically take?
Depends on the length of it. Could be anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. So,
oh my gosh, all this work for 60 seconds of just flying down that road.
Yeah, 60 seconds. Yeah, that's all months of work, months of coordinating with different people to be able to help build timetables, supplies, and just everything put into it for 60 seconds.
That's 60 seconds of glory, though. That is going to be a fun time. The wind's going to be blowing through your hair, maybe, if wind can get in, I don't know. But that's going to be so much fun. What are you most excited about for the actual day of?
Have you thought about it? Because I asked you the same question like a week ago, and you're like, I can't even think about that.
Yeah, you asked me when I was still trying to figure out. We unfortunately started running into the weight issue at that time, so I was trying to wrap my head around more of the what's in the moment. But as for the day of the event, now that we're getting as close as we are, it's, oh man, I don't know if I can pick one thing because I'm looking forward to actually going down the course. I'm looking forward to talking to the different people as they come through the pit road. Just the antics I anticipate of just how everybody in costume is going to act because the team members, just like me, I'm going to be showing up in costume. So since the theme is the concept of a zoo animal's escape from their enclosure, the enclosure we're doing this off is a gorilla. And I'm going to be the zookeeper that's come out during the stage 30-second performance, comes out, sees that the enclosure. The enclosure, oh no, it's been opened up. There's the animals over there. There's going to be a small little...
You have to do a better job than that day of. I'm just telling you right now, okay? Just giving you shit. You're great. Is there any accents? Do you get to, like, whip out your Irish accent or anything?
No Irish accent.
Come on.
But I do have a fun part.
You do? Yeah. We will not spoil it. This is so much fun. And just like the experience of, bringing your friends in and getting together and how much fun. And you should feel honored to be part of the team, Mark. Do you feel honored?
Oh, I am. It's been a blast. When you called me, I was like, yeah, I'm down.
No, he's been talking about it. He has been talking about it. I mean, you told me about it a couple months ago before you left for your trip. So, oh my gosh, so much fun. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
So what have you learned so far in the build process and just this whole experience?
Not to use paper mache.
Yeah, not to use paper mache. When stuff can go wrong, it will. But I think that goes for about any project.
Life lessons, yeah.
Those are definitely just standard life lessons. I don't know if there's anything like that's specific to this, other than the one thing I have seen and learned from this is if I even get the chance to take this frame in another year or two to submit my application, even if it's in, say, Chicago or Kansas City or Minneapolis, anything that's an 8-hour trip nearby, I'm going to throw my hat back into that mix. I'm going to use the same frame setup that I have now, but put a brand new top over it to make it something new.
Very cool. Very cool. Speaking of jealousy, and on the topic of jealousy, what car or driver or team have you been the most jealous of or envious of or thought was the coolest kind of as you've been watching this for the past 10 years? Is there one that sticks out that you're like, that was classic, like year over year, that was the best one?
I don't know if I've seen every year, so the ones I've seen, the one that stands out to me, there's two of them that stand out to me. There is a car where somebody did a really flat, small cast iron skillet. And they were dressed up as a couple of eggs, so it was a driver and a passenger, and they were sitting side by side, and the eggs had these just wonderful expressions across them, where one had that kind of like, and the just had the expression of "Here I come," just here, big old grin on its face that they had for the egg, and the other egg that was riding passenger had that kind of grimace of like, "What is going on?"
That is so funny.
So it was the execution of the art to make the performance is what really grabbed me on that one.
The execution.
The execution.
That's a you joke too.
I'm really sorry.
I know, I'm a little scrambled right now.
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. We're going off the rails.
Sam's back there shaking his head.
Well, I was thinking someone should have been the cast iron skillet. Someone should have been dish soap, and the other one should have been a hand. And the dish soap should have gone toward the cast iron skillet, and the hand just could have, because you're not supposed to wash cast iron skillet. I have a podcast. No. I can't talk. Anyway, okay, that's good. What's the second one?
The other one that's captured my attention over the years has been one that was called Red Bull Alert. And it's based off of a video game called Red Alert. And one of the things in Red Alert is this big blimp that is part of the basically Russian army that you get as part of their stuff you can do, and it just has this grimacing looking type of face on the front of it, and the person, how they executed it as an actual car, they had this massive, just it would fill this room 2-3 times over, and it was just mounted above the craft, and the craft was just a simple frame, 4 wheels, one person driving it. They put everything they wanted into making that blimp look like the game blimp. And when it came across the finish line, it was about 5 feet too tall to go underneath the finish line. So it hits the finish line gate. It knocks the gate over. The car crashes to the roar of absolutely the public loving it. And the guy just stands up triumphantly like, yes.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to look that up. That's pretty
cool. Those are my 2 favorites that I've seen over the years. The scrambled, or not the skillet with the eggs in it because of the craft and the execution of the costume and the concept of design. And then the full-on going all in on something that's absolutely ridiculous, that should not work, and ultimately hits and crashes on the finish line.
But it still somehow made it work because everyone loved it.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's so cool. And I love your idea. I love the creativity that went into it. You can tell you thought about it a lot. So we are all rooting for you. How can people learn more about this event specifically and yeah, I mean, what do you want them to do day of? Come by and say, hey?
Yeah, definitely come by. The event is open to the public. There's no charge for people coming and going, so they can definitely come on by. I don't know the actual link for how to find it, but if you just do a quick search for Red Bull Iowa Soapbox Race, you can find that by just doing a quick online search for it, and it will give you more of the information of where the event is at. It'll also have kind of what's going on for the times of when pit roads open, when people race, stuff like that, as well as it does let people know that there will be, food, drink, water, and stuff there on site, so that way you don't have to worry about bringing stuff in. You'll have all the answers and questions they can kind of just go through and see what's going on.
Cool. Well, we will put that link in our show notes and on social. But yeah, best of luck. Go out there, win every category.
I'm definitely, I don't know if I can win every category because it's kind of hard to get first, second, and third.
Nah, come on. Use your imagination. Let's go. No, good luck, Mark. Good luck. Thanks for bringing Matt on. This is so much fun. We're running out of time, but we are going to be rooting for you. I can't wait to hear how it turns out.
Well, thank you. Hopefully it's not the epic highlight reel, because that usually means that's an epic crash. I would rather be on the highlight reel of winning.
Yes. We need, what is it called? Victory lane. Yeah, wait, do you go single? Do you go like one at a time, or is it like, okay, one at a time, and then you're just timed and things like that? Okay, so you can't run into each other or anything. That's good. All right, well, we hope to see you in Victory Lane. Okay?
I hope for Victory Lane as well.
We hope for a part 2 of this podcast to talk about the whole experience and how it feels to just be a winner.
And then you'll be relaxing.
Yeah.
Yes.
The stress will come down. The stress will come down. It has to.
Yep. Oh, yeah, definitely, because then it will actually be able to do the rest of everything else.
Yeah, everything else you've been putting off.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank
you, Bonsal.
Mark, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
See ya.